So, ma'am, first of all, thank you so much for your time. Just to start with, I understand based on my limited research coming here that the Bhavnagar, the royal family, you've really supported a lot of sports, especially basketball. So, can you just help us understand, the history, legacy, and the reasons why you would support sports like basketball?
Namaskar. Thank you so much for talking to me. I am very, very proud of the basketball league in Bhavnagar. This initiative is actually a very personal story for me. The Bhavnagar royal family, of course, like nearly all royal families, always supported all sorts of sports and culture and the fine arts. I mean, that was their job. But now, in the recent years, we do believe that sports and an outdoor healthy lifestyle has taken a back seat, so it needs to be pushed forward. Especially after COVID, there has been a great surge in mental health issues, and I feel that the finest, easiest, cheapest solution is the outdoor nature and sports. A healthy body is a healthy mind. So the whole family is very, very particular about that. We all love sports ourselves. We have all played sports ourselves. My son is majorly into fitness. My daughter herself is into yoga and sports as well. My daughter-in-law, I myself decided to sponsor this. So this actually is not an initiative of the royal family. I want to make it clear I'm very possessive about this team. It is my personal team. And that is because I was the captain of my basketball team in school. I was in boarding school,
Okay.
and it is my favorite sport. I love it. And when the initiative came in front of us, that they're planning this for Bhavnagar, I jumped into it. So this is actually my baby. I'm very possessive about this team, and I just love the sport.
Yeah, and obviously before the interview started, I was overhearing you asking about your team and how whether it reached the knockout. So do you closely follow your team, Neelam Bagh, and how important is it for you to have a team in a basketball league?
And I'm very proud of it. And I try and follow them. I don't go often for the matches because it becomes a little bit of a formality when I'm out there. But I get all the news and the updates for sure during the season when the matches are on. And I'm actually very, very passionate about girl child education. We have a girls' school here and a girls' college as well. So, and all our girls are very good at sports. They go right up to the national levels. They're very talented, they're very hardworking, and we put a lot of emphasis on sports. So, yes, when the girls do very well, I feel particularly proud of them.
Okay, and since you mentioned girls and women's education and rights, one thing that I loved is that normally in other tournaments, when people organize tournaments, they just have the men's section or the boys section. But here, right from under 14, under 16, under 18, senior, there is girls and boys as equal representation. So how important is it for you to see that that there are equal number of girls and boys playing sports?
It's extremely important. I think, that there's a saying that everybody should be a feminist. We should all believe in equal rights. Luckily, for everybody who has an idea of the history of Bhavnagar, we are very proud of the fact that women were treated with a lot of respect and equality in the old kingdom, and so it has kind of been carried forward. Girl child education was started long, long ago by my great grandmother-in-law in an era when there was parda for Rajput girls. So she abolished parda and she said that girls have to have an education, and I think that equality between men and women. I am talking about right from birth. To be happy whether the new baby born in a family is a boy or a girl. To make sure that you pay for the same level of education, whether it's your son or your daughter, to give them the same opportunities. If they want to study further, if they want to go into a particular line, there should never be a saying which is, told to the girl that you can't do this because you're a girl. And I think the world has changed a lot now, and I think we all need to move ahead with the times. And I feel very happy that with every generation, my mother's generation had it different. I had it better. My daughter has it better now. So I think things are changing now, but we still have a very long way to go. And sports is also a very great leveler. Everybody is equal out there. Everybody is playing for the glory of sport, not for anything else, not for money, not for any selfish reason. You're a team. So I think character building is done on the sports field. It's not learnt in a classroom. So
Correct.
yes, for me, it's everything. Having a girls' team, having a girls' school. I think, not enough can be said. It is so important.
Okay, it's very true. But at the same time, now there are still many parts of India, especially a sport like basketball, where girls have to wear sleeveless jerseys, for example, and shorts. So, and obviously, we know that there are so many conservative areas still. It's still an unfortunate reality. So, what is your message to young girls who may think that they like a sport like basketball, but the barriers that they face constantly on a daily basis? So, what would be your message to young girls who are probably living in an area which is not as supportive as Bhavnagar is, which is not as progressive as Bhavnagar is? What should these girls do if they want to pursue sports?
I think the message has to be sent to the parents and
Okay.
to the teachers, because firstly, I always say there are no bad students. It's either bad parenting or bad teaching. It is for us to mold the children. We take that responsibility as a school, and I do we do try and counsel parents as well when we feel that there are too many barriers in the mind. But according to me, it is not the clothing that makes you whether you want to show your culture, whether you want to show your modernism or anything. It's not really. It's in the mind, actually. You may dress conservatively, but your mind might be thinking something else. So I feel that there is a mantra where you say, do in Rome as the Romans do. If you are participating in the Olympic team in a swimming competition, you have to wear a swimming costume. If you are playing basketball, you cannot wear a salwar kameez and play basketball. So that's my entreaty to parents and to teachers, that you have to encourage each child, each girl to shine and to flower and to blossom in whatever field she is good in. That is going to set her up for a lifetime of self-respect, self-esteem. So all I can say is that just encourage them to follow their dreams, give them the wings to fly.
Awesome. So you're saying that as long as the parents and teachers support and give that guidance, then these girls, are nothing stopping them. They can withstand society, even if society or outsiders are casting them, questioning them. That's something they'll be able to withstand if they have the support of their parents and teachers.
It's a two-way street. I think even the girls need to give their parents and teachers the reason to trust them, and to ensure that they are safe. Number one is safety, because however broad-minded one might be, I might say that I want to give my son and my daughter equal rights, which I have always tried. But at 1 o'clock at night, it's okay for my son to be out. My daughter is not safe. It's a matter of safety. So, of course, parents think about that. You have to be very, very careful. So, there is a very big responsibility about safety. But as long as you are safe, as long as you are sure of the environment, then there should be nothing stopping you.
Okay, and there were a couple of things that you mentioned earlier. One is, of course, I want to start on a lighter, more personal note. Now you mentioned, and that was one of the little bit of research I could do on the way here, is that you were in Lawrence School, Sanovar, I believe.
Yes.
And I know that's a very reputed school. It encourages so many co-curricular, extracurricular activities. And you have said yourself that basketball, I believe, was your favorite sport playing in school. Can you just take us through that? How were you introduced to basketball, and how was it like? Like, were you just playing, or were you also trying to follow the best players? Was that even possible?
Nothing of that sort. So I'm born and brought up in Himachal Pradesh.
Okay.
My home is in
Yeah.
Kangra, Dharamshala, in Himachal. And my brother and I were sent to Lawrence School, Sana. And there was no choice there. We had to play everything. So
Okay.
I was 9 years old, and you had to run your 100 meters, 200 meters, relay, high jump, long jump, short put. So you had athletics. There were seasons throughout the year. So you had your athletics season, you had your hockey season, you had your basketball season, you had to do all the hobbies. everybody had to do everything. There was no choice, and nobody could make any excuses. It was a very tough environment to live in. I do believe that nowadays parents and teachers are very soft. And I think it's important to make children into tough human beings, because life is difficult and life is tough.
Okay.
So for us, it was a matter of every season there was a different sport. I played hockey as well, right extreme. And we had a long distance cross country race as well.
Okay.
And everybody had to do everything. And it just happened that, I guess, number one, of course, the height. And basketball became my favorite sport, and I just still love it. I try and follow some of the NBA matches.
Oh, you do? Do you have any favorite teams, if you don't mind asking?
Not really. I mean, whichever match I can catch, I watch it. It's just, for me, it's like, all of them, they move so beautifully. It's literally like a dance, It's such a graceful sport, and there's so much. It's a matter of, it's the brain as well as the body that has to work, So it's just a beautiful game.
So do you think this educational background in Lawrence School, has that also impacted in a way where you try and follow the same thing in your school here, where girls have to try? Is there a hockey season, basketball season? I mean, can you just tell us about how sports is encouraged in your own schools here?
100%. I think my 8 years in Sana were very happy, wonderful years for me. And I always feel that the best thing that my parents did for me is to give me the opportunity for a good education. And I feel that is literally, I would tell every parent that is the most important gift you can give your child. Give them the best education. And yes, I was. It's a blessing for me. One inherits these legacies. So to be able to be a part of this very historical school, for me, it's a blessing. And I do try, because Sana is a very prestigious and very old, one of the oldest boarding schools in the world. So I do try and inculcate some of the things that I thought were very extremely wonderful, that was drilled into us. I try and do that out here as well. And the thing is that the hostel girls are only Rajput girls.
Oh.
So those Rajput girls are actually very tough girls. So they are biologically very good in sports.
Okay.
And yes, we do make sure that the nutrition is very good, because that's very important when you're playing. And we make sure that they get the right amount of sleep and the right amount of exposure and everything. So 100%, what you have seen, if you feel that you can bring something good into one of your own institutions, we do that. We end up doing that.
Okay. And also, you had mentioned right at the start of this conversation, which is also something that a lot of us in the sports industry, we are familiar with, is that for the longest time, I'm talking about pre-independence and even post-independence, it's always been the royal families in India who have supported the Olympic movement even before this became a phrase. But now, obviously, now we are in 2024. Do you think that the role of royal families in India in nurturing and patronizing sports, is it still the same, or is that a lot of this responsibility, has it now gone to the government? What are your thoughts about whether there has been a shift, or is it the same as it always was?
It belongs to the government.
Yeah.
This is the government's job now.
Yeah.
It was the job of the royal families earlier to patronize everything in whatever arena in your kingdom, in your state. It was a job of the royal family, because they were the government of the day. And today it belongs to the government of India. And, I do hope and pray that at some point in a country of over 1 billion, I hope that we can have a large contingent with a very large medal tally. I mean, we are still trying to get into double digits.
Correct.
That is what we are hoping for this time. And I do know that all the royal families, because it's something that has carried on for so many generations, it is a part of your DNA. So if you're given a chance, because for us, the historical and the cultural thing is that we must try and support as many organizations as we can, and encourage, whether it's sports, whether it's music, whether it's dance, whether it's the fine arts, anything at all. I think patronizing is something that anybody who is in a position to must do it. In fact, it upsets me and bothers me that the government had to actually bring in a rule called CSR. It's a wonderful rule, don't get me wrong, to give back to society. It should not be compulsory to give back to society. The moment you are in a position where you can help somebody else, you must do that.
Also, you mentioned organizations that obviously support sports. So we have to talk about youngsters basketball club. Every day, even when I'm watching these matches, the players are the ones who are also organizers. Like the boys and the men's teams players, they're also coaching the girls and women's teams. So it's a very sort of self-sustained ecosystem that is being built so that the future generation of leaders, they can take over and they can continue growing the sport. So what is your personal view of the impact of organizations like Youngsters Basketball Club in terms of promoting sports and fitness among youth at the grassroots level?
I think we are at a very dismal low just now, where health, fitness, sports is concerned as a nation. We are nowhere where we should be and where we should have been a long time ago. I don't know why we are just not a sporting nation. I mean, if we have 7 medals at the Olympics, I don't think that is something so great. I think we should be given a lot of funds for sports. I think there should be organizations at every level, starting from the village level, whether it's the panchayat or whether it's at a corporation level or whatever, where all schools, all colleges. I do think a lot of funds are given. I don't think it reaches where it should reach. So to get the sort of encouragement, even a small thing like we have a lovely stadium here, but when somebody wants to have a tournament, you have to negotiate, for the electricity bill and for the fees that you have to pay. How are you supposed to get that money? So I think it needs a lot of support, right, from the government to other organizations, schools, colleges. I feel that there is so much that one learns on the sports field. I really feel when you talk about my schooling from Sana, I think the best lessons, how to take defeat in life, to fall down, get up again, how to win and be graceful about it, how to work as a team. I mean, as a leader, as somebody who's working under a leader, all life's lessons are learned on the sports field. So I think that, we all really need to give it a lot of importance. And I'm glad you're asking me all these questions just as the Olympics have started.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I was up till 2:30 at night watching the opening ceremony. It was very beautiful. So all the best to India. I hope we come back with a lot of medals.
Okay. And again, the last question is, so because what's happening in Bhavnagar, this is what I'd spoken to the organizers as well. Because if one district like Bhavnagar, just from the Bhavnagar Basketball League, you already have 2-3 international players who have come from one district. So, and what they were also saying, the organizers, that if other districts each district can utilize their potential in each sport of their choice, it could be any sport, that the country, like you are saying yourself, will easily be from 7 medals, we'll go to 25, 50, 75. So can you just help us understand how does a club like Youngsters Basketball Club, how does it contribute to even the mission that the royal family has always had in terms of promoting sports and fitness among youth?
So I think it's, that one person who takes the initiative.
Yeah.
It's always that. And if you manage to get a few people on board, I think we've been lucky enough that when, it started out, it kind of picked up very quickly.
Yeah, post-COVID, no?
Maybe it was a timing.
Yeah.
Maybe everybody was dying to come out. Everybody was tired of being indoors. People were grappling with, mental health issues, physical health issues. And I think it just kind of worked because of everybody. It's like Haryana. Suddenly it's become this, Haryana has been a state where women have always been kept behind the scenes. and suddenly all the women are wrestling and doing kushti. So I think it's that one little spark that kind of spreads the fire, right? So, well, I mean, I just hope and pray that the government really encourages it, because the funds need to come from the government. These are all expensive, what should I say, dreams.
Correct. Yeah.
I heard a very lovely interview of Sania Mirza once, where she explained how there is an entire team behind her to make Sania Mirza right from childhood, and the expenses, the number of people involved. Nobody sees the blood and sweat and toil that goes on behind the scenes. So I think the more people kind of open up to the fact that this needs a lot of attention, this needs a lot of funds, the faster we will move forward, and it won't be just a nation of cricket.
Okay, awesome. Anything else you'd like to share for the viewers who may be watching this from other parts of India, and especially, like I said, girls who may want to take up sports? What is your message directly to the girls? Obviously, the parents and teachers, like you said, have to support. Girls have to show willpower, yes, but for young girls who may be future Sania Mirzas, who may be future PV Sindhus, what would you like to convey to them?
Well, it's very cliched, but dream big. Don't allow anybody to tell you that, oh, this is not possible. And have courage. It takes a lot of courage. Have faith and follow your dreams.
Okay.
And to actually women in general, I would like to say something, that it should not be, what happens is you play a sport and it stops at the school or college level, because they're all team sports.
Yeah.
I feel it's really important to carry on doing something more, even if you're not playing professionally, as a housewife, as a working woman, right up till the rest of your life. Physical fitness is something that can keep away Alzheimer's, keep away dementia, keep away osteoporosis. So whatever you like, whether it's yoga, whether it's swimming, whether it's tennis, just walking, 1 hour, 2 hours of walking, morning, evening. So I just want to tell everybody, all the women especially, to go out there, use your body, stay fit, stay healthy, and enjoy the physical side of being a human being.
Is that also something you also do on a daily basis? Is fitness a priority for you? Are you able to find the time for it?
Nobody can find the time. You have to make it.
Make the time.
You have to be very strict about it, very particular about it. I walk every day. I do 1 hour of yoga every day. I swim every day. I love being outdoors. I love activity. And the day that I don't get to be active is not a happy day for me.
Okay. All right, ma'am. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.